On today's episode, I'm joined with Buffy Hagood, a personal trainer who's at the very top of her game. You've accumulated your wealth. Now it's time to start working on your health. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Farm Truck Financial, where wisdom and wealth ride shotgun. Join Eric Kearney, president of Retirement Wealth Advisors, who believes that the best kind of planning happens when four tires hit the road. So hop in. Today, we're talking about investment strategies that drive results.
Farm Truck Financial, we're riding with you.
And I am here today with Buffy Hagood, and I'm so excited to have her here today. She is at the very top of her game, and we're going to learn a lot about wellness today, get away from the finances, and really get into being more fit as we get older. So welcome, Buffy.
Hi, Eric. How you doing?
I'm really doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm great.
Good. So stronger, longer, right? That is you. So tell me about stronger, longer and how that came about.
So Stronger Longer is really about what I do. I help people improve their quality of life through fitness, nutrition, and recovery so that we can all live stronger longer, right? It's not just about living longer, but it's about feeling good while we're still alive. So that's my focus.
So I met Buffy a long time ago, and the one thing that I remember from meeting her was she had been not working out, but training for a very long time since you were very young. We've talked about your struggles too, because everybody looks at a personal trainer and they're like, boy, they have it perfect, right? Their food, their nutrition, everything they have. But tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a regular person just like you, right? I'm a mom. I work a lot. I've got a lot of challenges in my life, just like everybody else does. And one thing about me is that I've had my own personal trainer on and off since I was 21 years old. And people they think, oh, well, you must just be naturally fit. You must just be naturally love going to the gym.
Right.
You can't wait to work out every day. Actually, it's the opposite. I need help just like everybody else. And I happened to get a really great trainer when I was 21 years old because my entire family struggles with obesity and diabetes and things like that. And I didn't naturally love working out, but I knew I needed help. And that experience changed my life, and it helped me decide that that's something that I wanted to do to help others.
Yeah. It's amazing to me, like when you actually have someone in your life that builds you up and wants to put you in a better position, and you're working with that person, how much it changes your desire to live a better life. And the thing is, with me, I have a trainer, and that trainer holds me accountable. And do I like to work out? I don't mind it. But if I wake up in the morning, I want to go to work. I want to do what I do. I want to go help other people be in a better financial position. So a lot of times my personal health gets sidetracked. And so all of a sudden you'll have your trainer call you up and be like, hey, dude, like, come on, like you missed yesterday. You got to get in today. And I think that your role is so important in lives because it's not just about working out. It's about creating that lifestyle of wellness and health and all that incorporating. So what do you see with your clients that you really help them out with the most?
Well, everybody comes for a personal training for a different reason. Right? So yours sounds like accountability. Some people, it's actually the knowledge. They don't know what to do. They may have an injury. Maybe they always trained a certain way and now they need to do something else and they don't quite know what to do. Some people need the motivation, right? Like some people, we have a saying that the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door. Right. So, I mean, once you get there, everything else is great. Right.
That's so true.
But when you've got a cheerleader there waiting for you, how much better is that? So not everybody needs that. Some people are fitness fanatics and they want to do it on their own and they're just jazzed to get up and go to that gym every morning. But most people have other things that they're fanatical about. You're fanatical about helping your clients, right? So you're going to put all your energy into that. And sometimes we forget to put energy into ourselves. And so that's really what, wellness can do for you is to remember to put yourself first so that you can help others better.
Yeah, Joe Rogan a couple of years ago, I was watching one of his podcasts.
Wait, you had Joe? Oh, I thought you were going to say you had Joe Rogan on here.
No,
I was like, wow.
Yeah, if Joe Rogan ever watches, he's welcome on my podcast.
Hey, Joe.
But on one of his podcasts, it was amazing. Like he said, madness and genius live next to each other. They probably share each other's sugar. And And it was a quick clip, but what it went into was people that are so successful at the top of their game, they're screwing up in other parts of their lives, right? And it's like, you look at somebody, you're like, you can't believe how good this person is. Well, believe me, what Joe Rogan's saying is they are dropping other things in their life. And the person who we really want to look up to is the person who is saving a little bit of money, the person who is working out, the person who is good to his wife, the person who is good with his family. You know, that's a real balanced life, but that kind of life is very difficult to get. And so as we thrive in our careers and everything, there's always something that's dropping off. And so in this next one, I want to talk about how you really create all that lifestyle for people. So everybody stay tuned. We got a lot more with Buffy when we come right back.
Do you have questions and concerns about your money, lifestyle, and retirement? Like so many, investors today worry about living expenses, healthcare costs, inflation, and stock market volatility. Instead of worrying, start planning. Eric Kearney and his team at Retirement Wealth Advisors want to sit down, get to know you, and start to build a plan that matches your vision and goals. Let's have a real conversation about what's important to you and how we get there. We'll help build you a plan based on your goals, lifestyle, and income needs, with financial clarity over complexity. Call us today for a farm fresh second opinion. Remember, you only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
And we are back with Buffy Hagood today, and one of my favorite personal trainers. Buffy, we have a lot of clients, so as they get into retirement, they kind of put their health off a little bit. So what can we do to correct that?
Well, first of all, I think it's just recognizing that a lot of it isn't your fault. Sometimes there's a lot of shame around maybe being overweight or maybe having to take some medication now because some aspects of your health have fallen off. There's nothing to be ashamed about, right? We all done the best that we can. We've had to focus on different things in our lives. I'm not retired yet, but I've had the same struggle with being a mom and being able to balance all the things, right?
Yeah.
So now instead of, being like, oh man, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that differently. Now you can look at retirement as a time where this is a time for me. And this is a time where I can finally focus on myself.
You really work with a lot of seniors who kind of put things off. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually kind of fell into working with seniors by accident. Just from the gym that I was in, the demographic was heavily towards that. And I truly wanted to be able to learn how to help these people. And it's very different from the group that I was working with before, which my original specialty was pre and postnatal.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But interestingly enough, I found out there were a huge amount of crossovers, meaning that people needed to take care of themselves first so they could take care of someone else.
Oh, yeah.
Many of your clients, I'm sure, are not only dealing with their own aging, but as we know statistically, they're also likely to be caring for someone else, an aging parent.
Yeah. So right now we are dealing with the sandwich generation. It could be a person is actually taking care of one parent or two parents while still raising their children. And so it's changed over the years where we are taking care of more people and then neglecting ourselves. And that's really one of the biggest things. So I think that wellness is getting to be a huge push for us in our practice. And this is what a lot of our clients are craving now. Okay, I'm retired. Now I actually have the time to start focusing on my health. And I think that that's really important.
Right. And so many people don't even know where to start, right? I mean, everybody knows they should go take a walk, right? Everybody knows they should do that. But then what?
Right.
And so if they've never been in the gym before, or if the last thing they did was a Jane Fonda workout video, right?
Yeah.
Or if they played sports when they were younger, but now they've had a hip replacement, that working out is going to look a lot different. And what even should I be doing? There's a lot of things to consider when you're just starting a workout program at any age, but especially when you're older and you may have some mitigating factors that you've never had to deal with before.
Right. And I think as people get older too, chronic conditions are a huge thing. So chronic is something that we have to live with for a very long time. How do you work with that? How do you correct that?
Correct. So I actually do have a specialty in what's called corrective exercise. The way I like to describe it is I'm not a physical therapist, but I think like one. So many of my clients are dealing with something, maybe some bursitis in the hip. Maybe they've got osteoarthritis. Maybe they've got some pain in their shoulder. They've had a rotator cuff repair over the years.
Right.
So these are things that are going to impact how they work out, how often they work out, how much recovery they need. And corrective exercise takes all those things into account. And we evaluate the client based on where they're at right now. Because if I start you on a certain program that looks like the same program for everyone else,
Right.
but I'm not taking into account your 3 blown discs in your low back, how successful do you think you're going to be? And how motivated are you going to be in that gym every day if we're making your problem worse
Right.
and not better, right?
Yeah. And I do think that people are kind of confused at like where to start, right? And the thing is that we talk about all different kinds of working out, but it's not just working out. Like, you are putting them through a program. You are training them specifically for their needs and really what they want. And I think as people get older, they do want their health to improve. And it's so funny how everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll walk 8,000 steps a day, but that's not doing anything for your muscle mass.
Right, which you and I had a side conversation about sarcopenia.
Oh, right.
And I was so impressed that you knew that term. Sarcopenia is what's called age-related muscle wasting. And that's why the biggest focus right now in the medical community concerning fitness is not actually cardiovascular fitness. Most of the research right now is being done on strength training. And we can talk more about why that's so important and what the actual guidelines and recommendations are for the clients that are in the age group that you mostly serve.
I love that. And I also want to talk about, were those twins we just saw?
Oh, yeah. Those are, you're not seeing double.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That, can I say their names?
Sure. Yeah.
So that's Laura and Leslie, and they are my dynamic duo. They're one of our greatest success stories. They've lost 30 pounds. They've improved their blood work, but they were both nurses. And they spent their whole careers caring for other people. Now it's their turn.
Great. Let's talk about Laura and Leslie in our next segment. I'd really like to talk about their situation. Everybody stay tuned. We got a lot more with Buffy coming up.
You know who has one of the toughest retirements? Procrastinators. You keep telling yourself, yeah, I'm going to get to that. But after months turn into years, you realize that time is one investment you can't buy back. The earlier you start, the longer your money works for you. Stop letting someday steal your future. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Don't let procrastination be the reason you work longer and retire smaller. Call us today for a complimentary review of your finances. And remember, you only retire once. So let's get it right the first time.
And we are continuing our conversation about strength training and also about Laura and Leslie. I want to hear more about the twins.
Okay. Well, obviously you can see they're very fit.
Yeah.
There's no age-related muscle wasting going on with these girls, right? They're in the gym, but they're not pumping big iron. And that's one of the misconceptions that people have about strength training is that you have to be in the gym and you have to be a bodybuilder and you're, drinking nothing but protein shakes and things like that, right? And that's really not what it's all about. So, Eric, how many times a week do you think you would have to go to the gym to actually improve your health?
I'm thinking three times, 3 to 4 times.
Okay, well, you sound like a fitness fanatic because I'll tell you what, the actual guidelines are from the World Health Organization, the American Medical Association, the American Diabetic Association, American Heart Association, all the acronyms, right? All the important acronyms. They all agree that we should all be strength training a minimum of 2 days a week. And that's to maintain our metabolic health and to maintain our muscle mass, right? So muscles aren't just about looking good in a bikini, right? Most of us, that's not our goal anymore, right?
Right.
We're trying to improve the quality of our life. We're trying to improve our health. And muscle actually happens to be the biggest way that you can make change to your metabolic health. We know that most adults over 55 are dealing with some sort of metabolic disorder, whether it be high cholesterol, high blood sugar, a combination of both. And those lead to a whole other host of things and increase the risk factors for every disease.
Right.
And one of the most protective things you can do is to actually build some muscle mass. But that doesn't mean you have to be a bodybuilder, right? I mean, these girls look great, but there are actually some star students, right? I've got plenty of clients that are just regular looking ladies, but they have put on a significant amount of muscle mass and they haven't had to do anything crazy. But we developed a program specifically for them that was able to focus on these goals. And the biggest thing is you want it to be accessible and you want it to be actually doable. And for many people working out in the gym 4 or 5 days a week is actually just not in the program for them right now, right? So we want to meet people where they're at, help them understand that it doesn't take this huge feat and this huge effort to actually make big changes in your health.
Right. And the one thing I like about it is that when they're coming to you, they're like, hey, this is what I want. And you're like basically saying, well, I know that's what you want, but this is really what you need. There's a huge difference between what you need and what you want, right?
Yeah, that's so true. And I think so many people are getting so much information these days. My famous line is, the great thing about the internet is there's a lot of information. The bad thing about the internet is there's a lot of information, right? So just like your industry, right? I could go on Robinhood and I can make my trades and I can think I know what I'm doing and I can read the reports and I can listen to the guy on YouTube. But when it comes down to it, I need an expert to help me with things like that.
I got a funny text yesterday and they're like, hey, I bought the stock on my own, right? So we had their retirement account and then they bought the stock on their own and they're like, it's a reverse split. That's great. I got a lot more shares. I'm like, actually, a reverse split is not usually good, And they're like, I can't sell it. So it was completely illiquid. But the things that we think that we want, the things that we think that we really need are just two different things. And so really that's what makes the difference between a trainer, a professional, and everything. What do you see going forward with the whole industry, with the seniors? Because we see where 10,000 baby boomers a day are turning 65. Are a lot more people coming to you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the need is growing just by sheer numbers, but also by the declining state of our health in the United States. Most retirees are dealing with at least one, if not more, chronic conditions, and they're on medications, and they don't want things to get worse. They want to improve. But the doctors are not there to necessarily help them guide through this. They're there to help keep them out of the hospital, right? But there's a difference between thriving and keeping you out of the hospital, right? And I want to bridge that gap. I want to help make sure that people who have worked hard their whole life, have planned well, have invested, are able to now enjoy that time. This is such a great generation. There's so many folks out there that can still do so much good in the world. There's so many people starting second, third careers. They're helping take care of aging parents. They're also helping their kids get started in this crazy world where who knows how these kids are gonna make it. It's so different from when we were growing up. They need the tools, the skills, and the strength to navigate all of these things. And I feel really blessed and honored to be one of those people that can help them get there just like you are.
Yeah, you're so good at Buffy. Hey, everybody, if you have any questions for Buffy, her contact information is below. And Buffy, thanks again so much for being on the show. Remember, if you're looking for a farm fresh second opinion on your finances, contact us today. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for riding along with us today. We hope you got some good dirt. If you liked today's show, subscribe, like, and share with all your farm truck friends. We hope you'll join us for the next ride on Farm Truck Financial, where we're always planting seeds for a better future, 1 mile, $1 at a time.
Farm Truck Financial, we're riding with you down the back road, steady.